How's it going, YouTube? My name is Ari and welcome to Blue Lion Finance, a channel dedicated to investing in my very own personal journey to amassing $100,000 with my Vanguard brokerage account. Now, that has been seemingly impossible to hit over the last 3 years just with all of the volatility, and now rather recently with the war in Ukraine with Russia and still surging inflation, it just gets slower and slower of a build day by day. However, that long-term value investor, I'm a true believer, always prevails. So as of right now, just given all of the volatility, my account certainly took a massive hit. However, with the momentum built on Friday, we popped back up by $2,274.91, leaving my account not at its record high, however, making its way back to it at $85,456 on the day. Now, in today's video, very excited because we're going to be going over the 7 dividend paychecks that I've received throughout the entire month of February, a record-breaking month, so make sure you stick around, watch this video through and through. Before we dive in, tap on that thumbs up button and help me grow this channel. And of course, if you personally have not already subscribed, make your way over to doing so. I'd certainly love for each and every one of you to be on this journey with me. Now, YouTube, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's go ahead and dive right in here because we have 7 total dividend paychecks to get to that I've received throughout the entire month of February. Now, if you've been following along in the Blue Lion Finance journey thus far, you already know that the end of a month and the beginning of a new month is my favorite time because we get to calculate the total dividend income that I've received. And of course, take a look at the spreadsheet and just see how that dividend snowball is rolling right along, which we're going to get to at the end of the video. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, typically how I break down my dividend income month by month is actually throwing out you the particular company that paid me out a dividend, giving you my 2 cents on that company, and last but not least, my share count and how much of dividend income I've actually received from them. So without further ado, let's go back to the beginning of February on February 1st, where we had the world's largest telecommunications company pay me out a dividend. That company is AT&T, ticker symbol T. AT&T has just been an absolute powerhouse with a dividend investor. Now, as of a couple of years ago, they did come out with that big announcement that they were going to be merging Warner Media and Discovery. Now, that of course led to a lot of investors backing out of AT&T, and they also announced that there was going to be a dividend cut. What do you know? Scared away a lot of dividend investors. However, my personal opinion here, this was in fact the right move. It leveled off a lot of AT&T's debt, and most importantly, they're going to get back to focusing on telecommunications. Now, I personally believe AT&T is going to be an opportunity to be a massive turnaround play. Of course, right now we're just talking about AT&T's dividend. It still rests at 8.85%. For owning 12 shares worth of AT&T, they sent me a dividend paycheck for $6.53. Now, as long as they continue to build out their 5G network as well as work on their marketing, I do believe it's going to be that turnaround. Likewise with analyst expectations, coming in at a median stock share price of $29 per share and a high stock share price coming back up to $37 per share. Now, coming up on dividend paycheck number 2, on the 10th of the month, we're going to be talking about the world's most valuable company, and that is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Now, Apple does not need any sort of introduction, at least I certainly hope not. It has a $3 trillion market cap. It has not slowed down in terms of its growth since the early 2000s and is only continuing to pave the way forward into the technologically advanced future. What's most important is looking into 2022 here, that we have the virtual reality headset that is due to come out at the end of the year. In my personal opinion, that is going to shock the market. And then quite literally rolling into 2025, we have the Apple car that is due to come out, which I believe is going to be the only real competition to go head to head with Tesla. All in all, Apple, in my opinion, is just a never sell stock once you have it within your portfolio. So I personally am only ever building my position with Apple. Now, just this past week alone, Apple took quite a bit of a beating at the outbreak of the war between Russia and Ukraine. The stock share price fell below $160 per share. I went ahead to pick up 2 more shares worth of Apple, bringing my total share count up to 102 shares. Now, analysts do believe that Apple has that bright future ahead of itself, coming in at a median stock share price of $192 per share and a high stock share price of $215 per share. But for those 102 shares at a current dividend yield at 0.55%, Apple went ahead to send me a dividend paycheck for $22.06. Jumping to the 15th of the month, I went ahead to collect rent checks, if you will, from 2 REITs. Those are real estate investment trusts. The very first one I want to talk talk about is Stag Industrial, ticker symbol STAG. Stag Industrial is a REIT that was founded back in 2010. Primarily it is focused on industrial properties like warehouses and distribution centers. Now, since its founding, it has amassed a portfolio of 544 properties across the United States. It is just a rock solid, growing dividend investment. And in my opinion, just with all of the volatility that has been going on recently and its stock share price falling from around $47 per share down to around $38, $39 per share, it is quite a steal. And I want to throw that out there for all of you to just think about investing into Stag Industrial for the future, and just having an understanding of what exactly is within their portfolio gives me a lot of confidence as a dividend investor. We're talking about clients ranging from Amazon to FedEx. A lot of e-commerce fulfillment companies are operating with Stag Industrial within their properties. So again, just the direction of the future being e-commerce, Stag Industrial, in my opinion, is a rock solid REIT to invest in. I've been growing my position with them over the past couple of weeks. As of right now, my position with Stag Industrial falls at 23 total shares. Their current dividend yield is sitting at 3.83%, allowing Stag Industrial to send me a dividend paycheck for $2.45. And now in regards to that second REIT that paid me out in a dividend paycheck on the 15th, we are talking about a company you probably already can guess, that is Realty Income, ticker symbol O. It is a REIT that I've been talking about quite a lot rather recently, not only amidst all of the volatility and me just doubling down on it, but because it is a sheer powerhouse within the industry as a net lease solutions leader. Now, Realty Income has amassed a portfolio of over 11,000 properties since its founding in 1969, with over 1,000 clients in over 60 different industries. The exact diversification that I like to see. Now, not only that, but we're talking about international expansion as well when it comes to Realty Income. They're primarily focused on Spain, the United Kingdom, and Puerto Rico at this point in time, after having covered all of their bases across all 50 states. Now, with all the recent volatility, their stock fell below $70 a share. That is exactly how I was able to scoop up a ton of shares to reach my share count goal of 100 shares worth of Realty Income. But looking into the future, analysts just remain excited for their growth, coming in at a median stock share price at $78 per share and a high stock share price at $87 per share. As a shareholder of 100 total shares worth of Realty Income and a current dividend yield sitting at 4.53%, Realty Income went ahead to send me a dividend paycheck for $18.64. Next up, we had a dividend paycheck coming from a company that I don't even own anymore, so I don't want to go far into detail about it, but just to be open, transparent, and honest with all of you, this paycheck came in from Hexo Corporation, ticker symbol HXL. Hexo Corporation is a manufacturer of carbon fibers, honeycomb structures, and adhesives. Primarily, they deal with the airline industry. Most importantly for you to understand is just the fact that I actually invested in Hexo Corporation as a pure rebound strategy to capitalize on the growth after its stock had rebounded. That's exactly what happened. But again, no longer having Hexo Corporation in my portfolio, don't want to go too much more into detail. They have a 0.75% dividend yield that I didn't even know about, and that allowed them to send me a dividend paycheck for $1.30. Moving right along, our next dividend paycheck came in from Darden Restaurants, ticker symbol DRI. Darden Restaurants was founded back in 1968. It's an American multi-brand restaurant operator operating 8 brands throughout the United States. Most famously is Olive Garden, but they also have Longhorn Steakhouse, the Capitol Grill, as well as Eddie V's, all of which very popular brand names that have certainly saved them throughout the last 3 years, because when people are thinking about going out to eat, they're thinking about these very restaurants. Now, I only hold 5 total shares worth of Darden Restaurants, with their current dividend yield sitting at 3.16%. That ultimately allowed me to receive a dividend paycheck for $5.65. As for the last dividend paycheck that I've received during the month of February, on the 25th of the month, we had it come in from Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX. Now, I know I don't need to say all too much about Starbucks. Founded back in 1971, has attracted every single white girl and their mother ever, and has become the world's largest coffee house chain, now operating in 80 countries with over 33,000 plus locations. This is just a coffee house chain. It's not going to be disappearing anytime soon. Gives me a lot of confidence just to continue to double down on my position with Starbucks, especially amidst all of the volatility. Rather recently, it is actually trading below $100 per share. So definitely room for a rebound. That is what analysts are also expecting. Coming in at a median stock share price of $115 per share and a high stock share share price, priced at $136 per share. So again, a nice ROI that you can make off of Starbucks while it is currently discounted. As of right now, I own 10 total shares worth of Starbucks. They have a dividend yield of 2.19%, allowing Starbucks to send me a dividend paycheck for $4.90. And now a special thank you to all of you, because without all of you buying those mocha choco lattes, I certainly wouldn't be collecting on these dividends. Now YouTube, that is it in terms of all of the dividend paychecks throughout the month of February that I've received. And now for the big moment, what we're all waiting for here, that total dividend income reveal. We have brought in $61.53 for doing absolutely nothing other than being invested in high quality companies. Now just going right over to the dividend spreadsheet, entering in the numbers 61.53, that brings us to a year-to-date total of $102.99. But even more exciting is taking a look at February of last year, that being of 2021. You can see we've nearly doubled our dividend income, which is exactly the power of dividend investing and just allowing that dividend snowball to continue to roll. Now, if you yourself have liked what you heard, you learned something new, drop those comments below. Definitely let me know what you've brought in during this past month of February. And of course, before we actually sign off here, tap on that thumbs up button and help me grow this channel. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and make your way over to doing so. I want each and every one of you on this journey with me. Now YouTube, until the next video, I will see you all there.